Alright, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I am some amiibo collector. I do have a couple of amiibos, but I'm not dedicated. I've never really been a fan of amiibo face sculpts, and the paint jobs usually were just pretty subpar. Not good enough for me to spend, $15 to $20 is not a lot to spend on amiibo figures, but I'm such a stickler for the fine details that it never really dawned on me to become like an avid amiibo collector. But when I say these Splatoon 3 figures really caught me by surprise, they caught me lacking. I'm inked up now. Starting with Frye. Frye is such a good sculpt. It's kind of crazy that I'm even describing the sculpt of an amiibo. I haven't been in the amiibo game for a pretty long time, but darn it, just the ink detail, the movement of the yellow ink, the attention to her paint job in her hair and her scrunchy, the skin tones, the eyes, the pants fabric. It's so good. I'm honestly shocked that I'm talking about an amiibo today. The mask is also a standout just because of how textured it is, and also the fact that it's hollowed out from behind. That's right. It's not just a hunk of plastic, it's a detailed hunk of plastic. Just fantastic all around. No complaints. There's even like the rips of her pants. If you look really close enough, it's hard to capture it on camera, but you can see her leg through the other side of the holes, like either hole. There's a hole from behind and a hole from the front, and you can see her leg sculpt through it. The fact that this amiibo had, they didn't have to do this. They could have just drawn on a hole and be done with it, but no, it is a actual sculpted hole with an actual leg that is visible through the holes of her pants. I can't believe we're still talking about the same amiibos that descended from the Smash Bros amiibos, and those just had the frumpiest looking faces, and I'm stunned that this is such a great amiibo. And moving on to Shiver. Now, I feel like Shiver isn't as highly detailed as Frye. I feel like more detail went into Frye than Shiver, but I digress. The detail is still there. There's still texture on her clothing, the ink, the emotion of the blue ink. It's a very fantastic compliment to Frye and how her ink flows. It's, again, these figures are really meant to buy all together. So it did cost me a pretty penny to get all three of them, but oh my goodness, this is just a really good composition. I'm blown away by it. The texture of the mask looks great. It's also not just a hunk of plastic, it's kind of a very detailed mask that you could imagine her putting onto her face. Fantastic. It's just, these are just some really cool Squid Octoling kids, man. And finally, we get to the man himself, Big Man. Big Man, to be honest, Big Man isn't as detailed as the other two girls. And I mean, there's not really much to do with him. He's a big manta ray. All you have to really do is just sculpt a manta ray, kind of give him a little shine, add the details, and that's it. So there's really not much detail work to do with him, but he's still perfect. He is such an adorable addition. Like, you can't have this team without having Big Man there. They are a unit, and this Big Man, like, he's a big man. He's at least like amiibo, like he's two amiibos. He's like 2 amiibos wide and an amiibo and a half tall. Like, he is still a really good size for Big Man, and he just rounds off the entire composition with his red ink. I'm just blown away. I feel like I haven't been putting enough respect on amiibos' names recently. I always kind of chalk them up as being like these really cheap, gimmicky toy things that you buy with game, or at least a cash grab by Nintendo to get more money out of their very loyal fans. But these are like a love letter to the fans. Not only do they have, you know, functionality with the Splatoon 3 game, but they look fantastic. So I'm really, really happy with my purchase today. And with that, thank you for joining me on this unconventional review. I don't know if I'll be doing many Amiibo reviews in the future, but I hope you enjoyed this one today. If you liked what you saw, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!